Okay, why don't we begin our PLC meeting with a review of our team norms.
Our norms are active listening, maintain integrity, respect one another, and our work together, and be committed.
And the last time that we met as a group, we were working through step 3 of PDSA, looking for root causes, analyzing root causes. And we used our trusty quality tool, the cause and effect diagram and relations diagram, trying to get what we believe is the root cause for the results we're getting with our SMART goal. Before we get too much further, our SMART goal, let's recap what it is that we've identified as our SMART goal.
By May 2012, all 5th grade students will improve their writing score by 4 points based on the review writing rubric, and we're focusing on language.
Okay. So as we look at writing, using the rubric, focusing on language, we identified what we thought was the primary root cause.
And what we came up with was that there are too many time restrictions and we're not spending enough time with the writing for kids to be familiar with the skills they need.
Okay, so when we try out an improvement theory, which is step 4 of PDSA, we take that root cause and we turn it into an improvement theory. If we increase the amount of time, we believe we'll see even better results on the weekly assessment that we've been doing. So we put that into an action plan so that consistently in each of our classrooms we're implementing that improvement theory. What does that look like?
Well, based on the writing research by Reggie Routman, she suggests 15 minutes of writing per day. So we'll spend 50 minutes per day on writing, and that would be versus our current 30 minutes, not always every day.
Okay. So as we looked at the research on what does research say is an appropriate amount of time to be spending, we realized we're probably about 20 minutes short.
Mm-hmm.
So going from 30 to 50 has the potential to see some increased results. Now, when we do this, we're going to be taking 20 minutes away from something because the day is only so long. What are our thoughts on where that time might come from?
Well, we do have that. We do have 20 minutes at the end of the day that we use for study hall. We probably could just readjust our schedule accordingly and tack that back onto our writing block then.
Try
See
that
if
out. That shows improvements.
Right. We could wait a couple weeks before we start taking more data and then put it in motion for about 4 weeks and see what happens.
Okay. So we probably want to have some communication with families. If students aren't going to have that 20-minute study hall, we might want to let families know that students may be bringing home an extra 15 or 20 minutes of homework, just so they're aware. And then if we don't see the results that we were looking for, we'll come back and look for a different root cause. Now, before we go back into our classrooms for the next couple of weeks and implement this improvement theory, which is basically increasing 20 minutes, let's talk about what that 20 minutes will look like so we ensure some consistency across all of our classrooms.
Well, I think that we'll stick with our 30-minute kind of whole group instruction on a writing lesson, but then allowing that other 20 minutes to give them time to practice the skill, and also time for us to pull small group and do more specific skill instruction for those students that might need that.
Well, and it'll also give us more time to informally assess the progress that they're making on those skills as well.
Good. So we'll continue to use the rubric and use the writing prompt. Let's wait a couple of weeks before we resample so that there's enough time to see if that additional 20 minutes has made an impact. We'll track it in our data centers, and we'll also have students continue tracking their own progress in their data folder. So over the next several weeks, let's implement our improvement theory and see what kind of results we get. When we come back next, we'll move to the next step of Plan, Do, Study, Act, which is study the results. And we'll basically look at the pre-improvement theory data in that run chart, and then we'll see post-improvement theory. Did it make a difference in our run chart? Why don't we capture our notes from today and make sure that we submit our electronic journal and get ready to go implement our improvement theory.